Miss Cinema, Miss Cinema.
It's a horrible allegation, and it is a lie.
Hi everybody, welcome back to episode 11 of Simple Politics.
Our one year anniversary.
Really, 1 year?
I think this time last year we started streaming, or we started.
I don't
recording.
think that's even remotely accurate.
Yeah, that.
No.
I don't even.
Oh, way to drop the ball there, Andy. Way to go.
Our first episode was October.
Really?
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, bruh. October,
Okay.
man. Come on, bro.
All right. I'm
A
sorry.
year. A year. We're only about 6 months off, but a year.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought. Why do I? Never mind.
I don't know. Because we started on October 5th. So I guess 4-6 is very similar to you.
Okay. My bad. All right. Well, since
Yeah.
our last episode, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lot. Not too much. A little bit. Enough to talk to shoot the shit about politics. What do you guys want to bring up first?
Do we want to dive right into Amazon?
Yeah, sure. Let's dive right in. Well, let's dive right into the.
Amazon's always going to be a hot topic. I mean, they were blasted on Twitter the past couple weeks when a bunch of workers were saying they have to pee in bottles, and Amazon denied that they had to pee in bottles. And then Amazon doubled back and said sometimes our drivers need to pee in bottles.
I think we could agree.
Yep.
Any job.
Also, shitting in buckets, too. I think that was a problem. Or shitting in
No.
something.
It's kind of crazy, you know.
You know.
Bezos, terrible fucking bald Lex Luthor motherfucker. So fucking rich, but his slave wages, you know, that's how he gets so rich. Pays them dirt
Yep.
shit, and they get to pay, and they get to shit in buckets and pee in bottles.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Anyway, the vote is still going on, or either it's. I have this.
I thought it stopped, but they're counting the vote.
Yeah, they're.
No,
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is they're going through this constant litigation battle back and forth because they're basically, one side will sue and say stop the vote count, the other side will be like, no, we're going to start the vote count back up.
It's
You
kind
know,
of weird
so
that it's
that has
starting in Alabama, though, right?
Well, I mean,
it does-
it's being led in Alabama. It's a black-led movement. I mean, they were interviewing the guy who got the ball rolling. He's an
Amazon-
African American guy,
Amazon's
and
also under fire for firing those activists. That's finally coming to light now.
yeah. And you know, it started in Alabama. It's you know, it's an incredible fight. I mean, it is something.
Do we have a lot of hope for this, though?
I don't know. I mean, every fight's a fight. You know, what they do is the first thing they make everybody do is they make everybody sit down and listen to this garbage that Amazon has to say. And some people will cast their vote like during that time, and then they have to listen to what the union has to say. Unfortunately, if you casted your vote when you hear like the garbage Amazon talks about,
What I just
then
don't
you're
know. Really,
then you
Come on.
listen to the unions talk, and you want to change your vote, you can't change your vote. So it is an incredible fight. It is something that I don't know if I'd be able to do it because it's just, I mean, they're taking such a risk. There's a reason why there's statues to people that were involved in the labor movement. You know,
Oh yeah, I mean they're fucked.
there's no
like, the
statues
union doesn't
to
go through.
people who are union busters. Like, well, maybe there are. Well, actually, there probably are. I take that back. But you know, it's an incredibly difficult thing that they're doing in Alabama, and
law firms.
But
we'll
they're-
see what
law
we'll see
firms
what
will-
happens.
But
If
they're
it
fucked though.
loses,
If the
I
union
would
doesn't go
say
through,
that
they're fucked.
if it loses, I would say that they could probably try and fight somewhere else where it might be a little more doable.
Yeah, but what happens
That's
to
not
those?
to sell
What
these
happens to
people
those
in
people?
Alabama short though for
Those,
really
those
fighting
people
hard.
those people going through with it, if it sadly fails, they're probably going to get fired.
They're either they'll probably. I wouldn't. Amazon will find a way to fire them
Yeah,
without
you
getting.
can just do. Yeah, you can just do anything simple and just make up an excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with those activists who wanted, safety regulations in place during the whole COVID shutdown, and they were still fired. So you want to hope that they win it, but I also don't have high hopes because Amazon is just a massive parasite now at this point.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
while everyone else fell, they grew. While everyone else was struggling, their stock prices went through the roof. They are.
It's your own tax.
They are. Like many companies out there, they are a bit of a parasite. They're a huge.
Well, yeah,
parasite.
he doesn't pay a dime in taxes.
Yeah. He's a. I just don't care when anyone says no one should have. I mean, if you want, there is.
No one needs that amount of money. He's not even using it. He's hoarding it at this point.
Well, what's interesting is his wife gives more money to charity than both Bill Gates, than his wife, his ex-wife.
Are you
might
trying to make
argue.
like a morality point because Jeff Bezos doesn't have any morals?
Well, I mean,
Lex Luthor.
we can have a conversation all day about how corrupt charities are, but at the end of the
And-
day, his wife
all
does
those-
give more money than Bill Gates and
And all those
Jeff
shitty-
Bezos.
Regrow your hair commercials, they clearly don't work. Otherwise, Bezos wouldn't be bald.
Yeah, maybe he likes Maybe he likes. I mean,
No, he's a weird fucking shaped head.
I mean,
No, he
I've
doesn't like-
said this forever. Steve would look good with a shaved head.
Stop
Steve-
saying that. No, I wouldn't.
Steve doesn't have a weird fucking head like Bezos. Like when you look at his head, he's a weird fucking head. You don't be bald when you have that weird fucking head. He should wear honestly like a beanie like I do all day.
Well, how's your head look?
Well, I have a full head of hair, so I mean,
Yeah,
I don't need to worry. I don't need to worry about like going bald like Bezos. I mean, I had hair that hits my shoulders.
But anyway, yeah, he did at one.
I have no problem growing hair. Bezos clearly does.
But
so
sorry,
1
Steve.
point
we're
to me,
poking fun at
0 points
you.
to Bezos.
But
I'm rich in hair. He is not. He is losing to me. I'm superior.
But yeah, he may like the fact that he looks like Lex Luthor. He has the most
think-
evil laugh I've ever
That's a
heard.
That's a fucked up laugh. That's a laugh who says, "I had no friends." That's the loneliest,
Yeah,
saddest fucking laugh ever. He had no friends. He doesn't know how to fit in. He pretty much acts like some sort of reptilian.
yeah. He's an evil person.
And has no friends. Yep. And he's bald.
Well, he has billions of dollars, so maybe he pays for friends at this point.
That's the only
That's a
way he's
good
going to get
point.
friends. That's the only reason why he has a wife.
Does he have a wife? Did he get remarried?
Maybe he has a girlfriend.
Or a girlfriend. Either way, he's paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yeah, anyway, we hope
And it's not even like a union would destroy the company either. Like that's why I hope the union works. I'm rooting for them.
Oh, I am
But-
too. We need more unions in the world.
As good as the police union.
Well, not as good as the police union. Better than the
Well,
police union.
I mean, we certainly need more unions. That's for sure. It'd be nice. It'd be nice with the police union has so much power all the time. it'd be nice if the police union, helped the labor movement, which they haven't.
No,
No.
the whole
No.
point of the police union is protecting bad cops.
I mean, every time, like I remember, Andy, you remember when Bishop Martino got rid of the teachers union, right? Back when you
Oh,
were in
yeah.
12th grade.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
We
I
lucked out 'cause
remember-
of that one.
I remember there were a whole bunch of nurses unions, firefighters, a bunch of roughnecks from like the electrical workers and the steel workers were out there in solidarity with the Catholic school teachers who were getting their teachers union yoked. Who wasn't there? The police union is a very powerful union. Why weren't they there?
There
Every
was no
time there's a
drugs.
union protest, if the FOP wanted to like score some points, they should be helping the labor movement entirely instead of endorsing the white trash scumbag Republican Party.
That's what cops do.
and,
They're only
you
going to be
know,
there if
but
they can make a buck.
They don't do that
And
for
or
some
two-
reason,
Yeah.
and they've never done that.
Yeah, they do need to clean up their act. They need to clean up their act. They're making I forgot that whole trial is going on, and that one.
Oh, that's another topic. Yeah,
That cop.
Yeah,
I've been
that's
well, not watching it, but I've been listening to it.
That's a whole sad situation. He's going to end up walking free.
There might be a good chance he won't, because okay, so normally when police commissioners come and oh my god, normally when police commissioners come and testify, they are testifying because they want to defend they want to defend the cop. The commissioner wasn't defending the cop. He was like, yeah, this guy wasn't following policy. So there's that slim chance he might actually get justice.
We'll watch him get probation.
Yeah. I
And
hope that
a
doesn't
nice-
happen, but it might.
And a nice paid leave. That'll teach him a lesson.
Yeah. But hopefully he gets put in jail, but there's a chance he won't.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, there's always a chance they won't. Right now, it appears that the prosecution's case is doing better than the defense's case. The defense had a little bit of a break today.
Because there's nothing to defend, really.
when-
They're just gonna,
When I forget exactly what happened, but they had a woman who a policewoman, and the defense had a little bit of success on the redirect. But that was just a little bit.
that's all they can
and-
do. Just redirect and try to bring up his
Generally speaking, the prosecution's, if it's a basketball game or a football game, you could say the prosecution would be ahead in the score right now, I'd say, based on what I'm seeing or hearing and listening to, because
Well, yeah, it's
I
just
listen to it while I work.
they don't have a structured defense. They're just going to constantly say, "Well, George Floyd was this and he did that in the past,"
Yeah,
but that cop isn't clean either. This isn't like this might be his first killing, but I'm pretty sure when it even all broke out, I'm pretty sure he has other charges against them.
Yeah, I don't know anything off the top of my head about that. But anyway,
I do know he was involved in a shooting back in 2000.
Yeah, it's like he's not just some like, great cop who made a really
No.
bad mistake one time. No, he was
he was
a shitty person forever.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
And all the cops showed how shitty they were during all those Black Lives Matter protests. Like when the cops shoved that old guy to the ground and then they tried blaming it on him tripping even though it was video recorded. Or cops just pepper spraying the fuck out of people. Or how
there was
recently cops pepper spraying children.
in
Cops do whatever the fuck
Kentucky.
they want.
In Kentucky, they just started shooting paintballs filled with pepper spray at a reporter.
I mean, couldn't they just like
started
fuck off?
firing them at them? It gets worse depending on where you're at.
That's why it said that the Onion made articles about it, and it wasn't even satire. It was just hit right on the head. But most of the cops, were too busy drooling and trying to spell their own name. Yeah, there's no structure to be a cop. You just, focus on how to spell your name and hold a gun.
Well, you know what? The one problem I shouldn't say problem. The one issue I have is, unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the video or the creator who created it and uploaded it to YouTube. But somebody mentioned that when you think about it for a long time, the military did a lot of the policing in this country. And Britain started it in the late 1800s, the idea that policing and the military should be separate. But even in recent history, there wasn't much of a military culture when it came to policing. And then, it started in the 1970s with a drug war. But these police are acting in a lot of ways like a military, especially when it comes to
because they're wannabe military boys.
Well, they're either wannabe or they're former. And then with the drug war, they got access to a lot of equipment that most people argue that they should never have access to equipment.
They absolutely should not be.
Hold on one second. They
hurry this boring story up.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, basically fucking. They started acting more and more like a military, and technically speaking, the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution defends against military-style like policing because of the no quarter clause, and they really need. It's almost in a way subverting the Constitution when you think about it from a constitutional law perspective.
You see a lot of people flying those back the police flags, and it's kind of weird that I know who they voted for when they fly those flags.
How's about this? When police start flying to support Union flags, I'll support them.
Yeah.
But
They do support.
I mean, that would be the best thing that the police could do to get themselves back in
is not kill people.
Good standing. Is start supporting the labor union, the labor movement. The Fraternal Order of Police should be helping to organize all these fucking shitty job warehouses and other places where people are, basically. I don't want to call it. It's obviously not as bad as slavery, but it's in a way, these warehouses and these, these call centers and all these other places, they're like plantations. And, Amazon's obviously the worst offender, and there's other pretty bad warehouse-type places that are awful. But, if the FOP wanted to get itself back into good standing with the community, they'd be helping to organize. Every time they went to a fucking house, every time they went to a house, okay, to break up a fight between two people,
they wouldn't leave.
They would give the people a card that said, "Here, fill this out and send it into your local labor organizing group." And get in a freaking union. That's what they would do if they really gave a shit.
Do they give the card before or after they shoot them both and leave?
I don't know.
I feel like the best way cops want to actually be in good graces of the community is not, pepper spray children. And
that's obvious.
And shoot a shit ton of people and pepper spray a shit ton of people.
Steve, I have to
about the law.
Steve, everything you said is perfectly 100% valid, but I think the police union has a lot bigger problems than that as far as image-wise goes. They really need to clean themselves up in every
I know, of course, but I'm just saying that's the most important thing to me is getting the working class back on track.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
And if they were able to if they did that, if they did something to help that out instead of just driving around for 8 hours a day,
Shoot people.
that would be a good thing for them to do. But
I bet if the cops
at
today
least from a
decided-
labor standpoint.
Yeah, I bet if the cops today decide to support unions, then Black Lives Matter wins from that standpoint right there. Wow.
I think everybody wins in that situation.
Well,
I really
honestly, like if you really think Black Lives Matter, I mean, to be honest with you, corporate America does a lot more damage to Black America than the police do, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, you are totally
Absolutely.
correct.
I mean, the
Amazon-
amount of people shot by police is bad, but the amount of people underemployed by corporate, underpaid, overworked, no benefits, no pensions, the amount of that comes out of corporate America is far worse than what the police
Still
do.
sounds better than being shot to death, literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I would take working an underpaid job than being shot to death or
obviously
neck or a knee to my neck for not doing a thing.
9 minutes.
I want to point. I know what you're getting at, Pat, but Amazon has done much more damage to Black America than the KKK could have ever dreamed of. Yes,
All about that, Andrew.
yes. They have
Andy, wait.
Are you saying Amazon is like the modern day KKK?
Wait a second. Let me just
Systematically
point one thing out
they
here.
are just as
The
bad.
The KKK murdered and terrorized about 4,000 people, mostly black, a handful of Italians, and a few Jews as well. From like
So
I
you
forget
telling
when-
us
from
that
like
Amazon
the end of Reconstruction to like 1950 or 60, like 4,000 people were
Okay,
lynched.
in the modern
That's pretty fucking bad. So
from a
Amazon, as bad as Amazon is, and
if we're counting from a historical perspective, okay, you're correct. But if we're counting from a modern day perspective, Amazon has caused systematic poverty across the Black community, the Latino community, poor white America. They're just a bunch of parasites in general.
Amazon
Absolutely.
What you just said is
Agreed.
Amazon needs to step up its game if it really wants to beat the KKK. That's where Andy supports.
No, I mean from a modern standpoint, I mean, I don't know. The KKK is still pretty bad. I mean, the reason
You're saying Amazon needs to step up its game. It needs to start doing a better job at outpacing the KKK at terrorizing.
Yes.
I mean, I think the
That's what you want. That
no, I
You
don't
want
want
them
that.
to-
you
obviously.
really want that.
No,
I-
shouldn't go away.
I mean, if they want to be that way, go for it. But if they, I don't think Jeff Bezos is that much of a soulless fuck. But
Well, you can't prove that.
he
No, I
might be.
Oh God.
He might be. He's pretty soulless. But no, I mean, I see what you're saying, Andy. But I mean, the KKK is, they're a monster. Like they stopped murdering black people because I don't want to say they stopped murdering black people.
They let the
but
cops do it.
Yeah.
they don't do it as much overtly, or at least at least according to like the lynching museum that's down in Alabama. It's a memorial to like everybody that's ever been lynched. I believe the number that the end year that they put was like 1960. So,
Don't lie, that sounds like a really sad museum.
it's an awful. I mean, it's sad
It's
from
meant to.
like
It's
an
a
actual like.
it's a depressing
Yeah.
museum.
Well, it's
No,
meant
I mean
to,
it's
so-
still something you should see. If it's in Montgomery, Alabama, it's
Well- Sadly, I don't plan on ever stepping foot in Alabama, so that just sounds like that's better for my health.
to all the Alabamans. I love Alabamans. I've never met any Alabamans or been to Alabama, but I love you guys.
I know one person from
Why?
Alabama, and they're actually not that bad. But anyway, uh,
I know. Well, there's Charles Barkley.
but
He's from Alabama, I think.
well, personally, I'm talking about, but like,
Yeah, let's start naming all the famous people from Alabama now.
but anyway, I mean, you've got the major cities in Alabama, which probably have some decent human beings.
We can't prove that.
Well, we could go there and prove that.
I just told you I don't plan on stepping foot in Alabama. That'd make me a liar.
Bessemer isn't even a big city, and they got some decent people down there busting their ass to try and get the labor movement together.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I'm stuck in Alabama.
But Bessemer, Alabama, union members all over the world.
Yay, Alabama unions. Boo, Alabama.
But anyway, let's talk about some Matt Gaetz.
Gatesgate.
Gatesgate.
That's what we're saying, Gatesgate.
This guy, he so
Allegedly has done some bad things.
has allegedly done, well, not just one bad thing, but a lot of bad things across multiple bad things.
Well, it's not like he was going to do only one bad thing and say, okay, this is it for me.
Yeah.
He's
So
going to continue what he wanted to do.
Matt Gaetz allegedly is a child sex trafficker. He's being investigated currently. The Republican Party is making excuses for him. He had a very weird interview. That's actually in the intro of our wonderful episode right now.
Well, that's how you become a Republican, though. Because if you have the money, you want to be a Republican, because then you can dodge taxes and do shitty things and be forgiven.
Yeah, but somehow being a Democrat is the worst thing in the world.
Well, that's because a lot of Republicans also can't spell their own name. That's a prerequisite to get into the polls.
He's been accused of child sex trafficking. He should be. I say should be, according to the rules of the House of Representatives, he should be taken off all committees. But currently, he's still serving his committee assignments.
You're missing one big factor.
What am I missing?
Okay, so when you see his name, and then you see the parentheses, what letter's in that parentheses?
An
R. So therefore,
yeah.
he's okay.
Yeah, but
yeah.
That's your golden ticket to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's
quite possible that Matt Gaetz still remains as a member of Congress 10 years from now. Well, I guess he could get arrested.
Yeah, he could get arrested.
And then at that point, he has to leave.
I mean, there was that one congressman from Texas who he was charged with something, and then he recorded a video of himself, posted it to Twitter, of him crossing the border, and that violated his his parole, which then led to him getting in trouble, and he's still a congressman. God, it must be awesome being a Republican congressman where you could get away with whatever the hell you want.
That's your golden ticket to
bad. I mean, Matt, I don't know. I mean, if nothing comes of it, like criminally, like if he doesn't go to jail, he'll still be a member of Congress. As far as I'm concerned, people will be ignorant enough to vote him again.
Well, yeah, that's the big problem. He would be a piece of shit, but he would be, still in Congress. But most of the people in Congress are kind of just all parasites themselves also.
Well, you've got the 25 members of the Progressive Caucus who aren't too bad, and you've obviously got AOC, and in the Senate you've got Bernie Sanders and I know some people don't like Elizabeth Warren. I do. I don't think she's that bad.
Let me just tell you right now, to anybody that wants to be a whiny little bitch and complain about both parties being just as bad as each other, let me tell you, I don't want to get too specific, but from where I work, I let's just say I work
You
in
get
a
people.
sort of.
You get the
Wait, hold
centrists
on,
who
hold
don't
on,
wanna
hold
make
on
them-
a second.
make them
I work
side.
in a sort of financial sector sort of thing, and I could tell you that we sometimes treat people differently based on what state they're from. Let me tell you, because the blue states have better better consumer protection laws, we treat them better. We treat Massachusetts better, specifically because of Liz Warren.
Yeah.
If you live in Massachusetts, every time you file a complaint or have anything to do with your bank, you get treated a whole lot better than people from maybe Texas, where asshole Ted Cruz is your senator, because of how hard Liz Warren is on the financial industry.
Yeah. So basically,
So the proof is in the pudding that
yeah.
obviously
They don't
one
wanna- they
party
don't
is
wanna
better
read.
than the other.
They don't want to
you know.
read.
Yeah, I mean, see, some people look at like shit that some Democrats do, and they say, "Oh, both parties are bad," and then overall, yes,
Overall, both parties are bad. I agree. But
overall,
Democrats-
the Democratic
Democrats
Party is
are
at least better.
yeah, they're better than the Republicans. But at the same time, is that really a win? The Republicans'
Yeah,
bar
I
is
mean-
set so low.
I mean, yeah, it is a win because if you
Okay,
you
no,
know,
let me ask you this then.
if you live in Georgia right now, you're going to have a hard time voting if you're.
Are you better than
poor.
Hitler? Are you better than Hitler?
Yeah, quite much so better than Hitler.
Because he set the bar so low that it'd be so tough for you to be worse than Hitler. That's
Well, I
the
mean-
Republican Party. The Republican Party is so bad that the Democratic Party had no
Jews would
choice
have
but
liked
to be
somebody
better.
just a little bit better than Hitler, I'm sure. So
That's the thing. The Republican Party's bar is set so low that the Democrats could have been asleep and they'd still be better.
you live in Pennsylvania, purple state, where you don't have to worry about your voting rights getting trampled on. If you lived in Georgia,
Hey,
and you
I'm
were
agreeing. I'm
poor-
saying the Democrats are better than the Republicans. I'm just saying the Republicans' bar is set so low that it's not really a win.
Yeah,
That's like you go.
I mean,
That's
like if
you
you're.
go into. That's like you go into the playground right now, finding an 8-year-old and beating him in basketball. It's a win, but like, did you really think you were going to lose to an 8-year-old?
I mean, I don't think that's the same thing.
That's
Like,
the exact same thing. Republicans
No, I
are
mean,
about
it's
as confident as an
literally
8-year-old playing basketball.
it's literally you literally have a party that deep down inside they wanna make it legal to lynch people again, and then you have another party that's a lot of bit corrupt in some ways.
You're thinking about, but you're forgetting about the upside that the Republican Party offers.
What's the upside?
Well, if you're rich, you get to do whatever the fuck you want. That's like big upside. That's huge upside.
That's the upside. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Of course,
see,
none of us are rich, so.
Well,
But
no,
no, I
because we
mean,
don't have
that's-
that golden ticket. So that's why you got to be like, oh,
We may
those damn
one day, Steve. We may one day be billionaires.
That's right. You know, Fry from Futurama has said it the best. It was about how he fucking said, one day I'm gonna be rich, and then those people who are like me better watch out. and that's totally America right now.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah.
That's the myth of the haves and the soon-to-haves,
But
right?
Well, most of
Instead
the
the haves
Republicans,
and the have-nots, which is how it really is.
most of the Republicans believe that they're soon to have, but really they were never gonna have.
But anyway, to get back on topic to Matt Gaetz, that interview he did with Tucker.
Carl Tuckerson?
Yeah, he.
Oh, little Tucker, little
that-
Tucky.
little Tucky. That was the most awkward interview, and Matt Gaetz.
But who made it awkward though? Was it Tucker though? Was it his like weird,
No,
bland?
Did you see it?
blank stare?
Okay, did
No.
you see it? You didn't see it? Okay. Matt Gaetz might have implicated.
Oh, so he just
Tucker
went
in
off the rails himself.
Yes. And well, see, here's the thing. He said something, and then Carl Tuckinson was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there." Like, it was extremely fucking, like, it was really
Oh man,
awkward.
so he was making it seem like he was like high-fiving Tucker during the room or something.
He made it seem like Carl was involved in the same exact shit he was involved with.
Tucker doesn't have balls. He's a eunuch. He wouldn't be in that situation.
But he is a rich boy from Connecticut, so
he speaks for Fox News. They cut off his balls a long time ago, so he's going to say whatever they want.
Yeah, he's going to say whatever the rich want him to say.
I mean, John Oliver recently made his about 2 weeks ago about his whole recycling thing, but you have Republicans saying, "Oh, recycling is all baloney." So really, it's just Republicans will always say the opposite of whatever the Democrats say, regardless of any purpose at all. Any fact that can be said, Republicans will try to say literally the opposite.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't pertain to politics. Because recycling doesn't pertain to politics.
Well, no, okay, Bill Maher, he said, I can say hello on Twitter, and everyone else can just say back to me, well, screw you. That's the, Democrats will say hello, and Republicans will say, well, fuck you too.
Yeah, so that's why, you know what? Republican Party just set the bar so low. That's why it's not a win. Just always remember that.
Yeah, they're either the Democrats need to get more left-wing, or the left-wing Democrats need to join the Green Party.
Either or. I mean, I think it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that, and then there'll be 150 Democrats in the House of Representatives. There'll be 270 Republicans in the House. There'll be 70 Republicans in the Senate, 30 Democrats in the Senate, and life will pretty much blow if you're not a white man. So
it's weird that the centrists are saying this stuff.
I wouldn't say Steve's a centrist. He's a moderate left-wing person.
I'm not a moderate left-wing person.
Moderate.
I literally, Andy,
He literally can't even right now.
I literally want, what you want to bring Amazon back into the question? You want to know what I really believe we should do with Amazon?
Go ahead.
We should take them.
We should take them.
The government should just take it over. That's too big of a good for us. They should just take it over.
Government do with it.
I don't think that would. I don't think
the government will run Amazon. They would
run it like they're running
unionize.
The government would run Amazon like they're running the government, and that's fucking terrible. This government's a third-rate government.
That's not a moderate thing.
America's government is what you get when you order from Wish.com and you order a government from Wish.com. You don't get a good government. We have the fucking American government. I don't want Amazon to be run like the American government. It's fucking terrible.
Dude, we have a government worse than if we ordered a government from Wish.com.
Right, but we have a government worse than that, not because of the Electoral College. That's what killed us.
Oh God, why did I say anything? But anyway,
because that's what moderates do.
Are you kidding me? You really want to call yourself a progressive and defend the Electoral College?
I don't think.
Are you?
I'm not a progressive. I'm not defending the Electoral College. It's just weird that
a moderate communist.
Yeah, it's weird that a moderate's doing it.
Well, I mean, I know.
I mean, seriously, the Electoral College. This country would be in a much better place if we didn't have the Electoral College.
Yes, and we should.
No George Bush.
And we should.
No Trump. No George Bush.
I think for our 1 year special, we're going to get Steve to take the political compass test.
Yes, we must.
Our 1 year special where Steve finds out.
You're not. I've already taken that, and I fell to the left pretty far.
Well, we
didn't see it. It needs.
We didn't see it at all. There's no proof there.
The Simple Politics viewer must view this.
Yeah. We have to see Steve become a liberal.
Steve, if you take the political compass test, me and Pat will never call you a neoliberal again. Even if
you are a neoliberal, then you buy
Guys,
me and Andy
Guys,
drinks.
I just said the government should take over a company.
All right.
How
so,
in the world can you call somebody a neoliberal when they said the government should take over a company?
Oh no,
I
you just
know.
might be projecting. And until we get the proof.
Maybe not take it over, but at least.
Oh,
back
now
it
he's
up.
backtracking. He's already
Oh,
backtracking.
okay,
now.
okay.
It's beginning.
Get out
beginning.
of here. Get out of here.
Hurry, libs, get him. Cancel culture, begin. Get him.
Oh my god.
Oh, are we talking about? Did you just say cancel culture?
Yeah, right. Liberals are going to get you for double backing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about cancel culture. You brought it
Good.
up, Pat, so you go ahead.
So definitely, cancel culture is actually terrible on literally both sides. Liberals are not 100% free from being awful in the whole cancel culture society we're in. But it's not as bad as Republicans will say. Like those Dr. Seuss books. No one would be able to tell me what books were being stopped printed. Do you know the name of them off the top of your head?
Nope.
No.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, because it wasn't the typical Dr. Seuss shit about green eggs and ham. It was a really racist book. They acknowledged it, and without backlash, they decided not to do it. They didn't have people saying, "Oh, you gotta stop this." No, they did it on their own. Like Mr. Potato Head, Hasbro, without any backlash, is the one to say gender neutral potato.
Yeah. They did it. Hasbro did it on their own. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have to. They did it on
No.
their own.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There was no like angry protest that the liberals were up in arms saying, "Oh, you got to stop this." No, but the Republicans took it as, "Oh, that's just more liberal cancel culture." But let's look at all the cancel culture Republicans really tried to force on our throats for the past like decade of our lives. Remember when they said, "Stop playing video games. The violence video games are going to make us violent,"
Yeah.
or all that evil satanic metal music is terrible.
Yeah.
Republicans had their own version of cancel culture. It was just something they didn't like. So
Yeah.
they said, "Fuck you, you don't get to enjoy it then."
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. My opinion on cancel culture is this. I think
I'm good to
that
be had in it.
there are New York Times think piece people who think that it's just comedians complaining all the time, and then there are idiots who say cancel culture has run amok. And my opinion
The reason why they say
is
it's run amok is because they see Twitter.
yeah, and cancel culture. I hate to call it cancel culture because it's really
Exactly.
it's call out culture.
Yeah,
And,
that's exactly what it is.
And
Andy, I
going
don't
on?
know if you just made that up, but that's good.
no,
That's
no,
good.
I'm not the first one to say that.
Yeah, because
Cancel
it makes sense.
culture. There's my opinion is like with the Me Too movement when it first started out, not in recent years, when it first started out, it started out as a way of bringing a voice to people who felt like they were ignored. And then that led to police actually investigating Bill Cosby. But then you have other situations where people have found a way to weaponize it, right?
Yeah,
So,
but that's what then the Republicans would focus on is only the negative aspect, and that's it.
yeah, it is.
Like they're doing now. They focus on the one very small blip of bad. Oh, all cancel culture is bad. What you see on Twitter is a lot different than actual like cancel culture.
Yeah, well, Twitter's a
It's a
cancer.
cesspool. It's a cesspool.
It's a total cesspool of a bunch of idiots who all deserve to get lobotomized, and there is a nuanced opinion. It's good in some ways, it's bad in others.
Yeah.
Take
It all
the
depends
bad
on what
and
it's
get
for.
rid of it. Take the good and keep it.
Exactly. Like if you found out your childhood hero turned out to be really bad, you don't want him
To be
in the
much-
media. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want him to be like everywhere. That's just accepting like he did a really bad thing, And now he needs to face the consequence.
Yes, if Slash was a child pedo, I would definitely want him to be convicted and never celebrated again.
And of course, Andy will cry and then smash his guitar.
Well, one of the things that I want to bring up cancel culture from a corporate point of view, or from a corporate aspect, because a lot of the canceling in the past week and a half has been done by corporations, and
They're just following a trend.
I don't want. What I don't want to see is, I don't want to see, corporations start. I don't want it to be like battered wife syndrome. Like we're all of a sudden we're going to bend on our knee towards corporations just because they move the All-Star game to another state.
Or the PR.
Whatever the hell Delta and
yeah, that's all. That's not done because they
Coke did. So I'm very. I really like when corporations are like, "Oh, guys, we agree with you, and
we stand with you, and we support you." No, don't trust them.
If Major League Baseball wanted to really do something, they'd support the working, the minor leaguers who were basically making $0.
Okay, but to be fair, though, baseball
not exactly $0.
Baseball is the first sport to actually show some sort of cultural relevance. Football, none. The amount of beating the fuck out of your wife, the terrible rapist culture you see on college campuses, football kind of sweeps that under the rug.
Yeah, they do.
So really, I mean, baseball at least has did something. Yeah, it's not like I love baseball for this now, but it is a little bit better than what other sports have done.
And it is good too. And another thing too, this is a really big issue. Voting rights. It's one of the biggest fights we've had in this country since its founding. And the Georgia Republicans basically want to squash the right to vote. And
because they were so upset.
And MLB actually stood up for something that really, really mattered. It wasn't like, somebody, didn't bake a cake. This is voting rights. This is goddamn important. This is in your face important.
I hope despite all their terrible actions, Georgia still comes out blue even stronger for the next time.
I'm hoping. I mean, Warnock is up in 2 years, and he did better than Ossoff. So I'm hoping.
Well, I'm even talking about
again.
I'm even talking about for the next presidential election. I hope Georgia even still comes out swinging blue, just to really fucking stick it to those old fucking fossils.
Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the governorship up in 2 years?
Yes, it is. That too.
So if we get a Georgia governor who's Democrat, then Georgia's got the Georgia Republican Party's got a real problem.
Well, what about PA though? We might go red.
I don't know about red. I know. Steve's,
I don't know. I mean, we did.
I know Steve's going to disagree with me on this, but I really think Fetterman should say screw the Senate and go for the governorship. But Fetterman
and
has
just build up.
Fetterman. Fetterman has a good chance to win the Senate. That whole incident with him in Pittsburgh, or the whole incident when he was mayor, might come back to haunt him, and you might get the stupid. Yeah,
you gotta try to throw any dirt at your opponent. That's the way it goes.
Who try and throw that up at him? But I think Fetterman is smart enough to dodge that. But. He's gonna.
So,
Pat Toomey's not really like Pat Toomey is a uninspiring Republican. He's not, and he's even gone against Trump. The ultimate.
Okay, he's not running. Andy, Pat Toomey's not running again.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So they've got a couple.
So we could have a John Fetterman versus Lou Barletta situation.
No, Lou Barletta wants to run for governor now.
Oh, god damn.
Comes from the myth.
Anyway,
it's
gonna be a shit show. We're gonna have
governor of Pennsylvania.
We're gonna basically have who's who of the biggest scumbags in the Republican Party, Pennsylvania Republican Party running. You're going to have for Senate. I don't know. There's a couple assholes that are running, but nobody big name is in it yet.
How would your thoughts be?
Same for governor.
Bloomberg could be the governor of Pennsylvania. How would you feel?
He couldn't be the governor of Pennsylvania. I don't even think he.
Did you not hear the question?
Okay, if Bloomberg tried to run for governor of Pennsylvania,
Would you vote for him?
No.
Why?
Unless.
Why?
I would vote for the Green Party because Bloomberg's a goddamn idiot and he's not even a Democrat. He's a middle of the road Republican at this point, and he could go to hell.
Bloomberg versus
Steve would probably vote for him. Steve would probably vote for Bloomberg just because he would have run as a Democrat.
I don't assume.
He knows he would.
There's people that really despised Bloomberg.
Okay,
Bloomberg actually helped Pat Toomey get reelected in 2016.
Okay, so he's already an idiot, and he could go to hell.
Who would you want, Bloomberg or Lou Barletta? Pick one.
I want to think about that.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm voting for the Green Party candidate.
See like a presidential race between Lou Barletta and Bloomberg?
Yes, I'm voting for the Green Party candidate. Bloomberg's a grifter. He could go to hell.
That's pretty mean. I mean, that's Steve's homie. He's a Democrat.
Bloomberg is a Republican. I still think of him as a Republican.
Well, hey, Elizabeth Warren, in all fairness, chewed him out a good one, man, and
yeah, she did.
Called him out for who he actually friggin' was. Man.
Well, let's go to some uplifting news.
What's some uplifting news?
So, I think it was Virginia. They banned the gay panic defense.
Yes,
they are now the 12th state in the U.S. to ban the gay panic defense. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the gay panic defense?
Okay. Well, so Steve,
do you want to hear something completely fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Go on, Andy. Tell about the fake defense.
Okay. So it's more actually referred to as the trans panic defense, but some people...
Well, now, yeah.
Okay, so Steve, you're in a bar.
Mm-hmm.
You find this girl. You find her extremely attractive. You take her out, and you're kissing her. And she's extremely nervous, and you ask her, like, what's wrong? And she tells you, I'm trans. Well... some people who are a little bit unintelligent, and when I mean a little bit unintelligent, I mean very unintelligent.
The one fucking horrible in their head starts bouncing off all the fucking walls.
And they beat the shit out of her and kill her. That's the gay trans panic defense. And
wow, why is that even a thing?
It's a thing in multiple states because
look at the fucking world we live in.
And
is it like that in Pennsylvania?
I don't think Pennsylvania.
I don't know.
Yeah, but basically, many, not even just trans people, but many, even people who just cross-dress for fun, have gotten killed because of this.
Okay, actually, I have a list of the states.
List them off.
Okay. I wonder if it's gonna. Well, here's a chunk of them that I'll go through. So, California banned it in 2014.
Wow.
Illinois, 2017.
Wow.
Rhode Island, 2018.
Wow.
Connecticut, and Hawaii, and Maine, and Nevada, 2019.
Wow.
New York
should have been banned 20 fucking years ago.
New York considered it in
100 years ago.
New York considered it in 2014. Then they considered it in 2015, and then 2017, and it was finally banned in 2019. New Jersey was the same way. another 4-year stretch of considering it, and in 2020, New Jersey banned it. Pennsylvania in 2020 considered it. It is still not banned.
Goddamn, man.
But Virginia, 2021, and of course, you know,
I don't
just
care.
didn't.
I don't care what anyone says. Virginia and Pennsylvania, if it was scientifically possible, should switch places at this point because
it kind of seems that way, doesn't it?
Pennsylvania's a scumbag state at this point.
Let's not call Pennsylvania a scumbag state.
It's getting
Yeah.
there.
People in Tamaqua really work hard.
I need to stop laughing like that. But, I mean, this is simple. This is, you can't kill somebody just because.
Can I just point out Charlottesville's in. I'm sorry to interrupt, Andy, but Charlottesville's in Virginia, not Pennsylvania. So let's you know.
It's overall. It's overall. You can't just judge one motherfucking place. And I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, if
People
we were to
are
judge
human beings. You
we were to
can't
judge
kill
one
someone
place,
just because
then look at
they are
Tamaqua.
fragile. Because the one person who killed him is fragile about whether or not they might be gay. You can't do that.
I know. That's terrible.
No, that's
not a defense.
absolutely true. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's hard to rank any state by, you know, whether you think they're a scumbag state or not. But, you know, they did just remove Confederate monuments like last year from Virginia's,
That's huge progress,
General
though.
Assembly.
Yes,
That's big progress they're making. We have people in Pennsylvania waving Confederate flags now.
Which is kind of odd because Pennsylvania was the second state to ban slavery. So
We're kind of regressing.
Any of you Pennsylvanians who are flying a Confederate flag, here's my 2 middle fingers. you
Agreed.
Pieces of
Agreed.
garbage.
People who are flying the Confederate flag are not listening to this podcast for 2 reasons. for more than 2 reasons.
What are the 2 reasons?
Because we're definitely left leaning in this podcast. That's scary to them. We're also using some pretty big words. We're using 2 syllabus words. Okay, that's too much for them. They are not listening to this podcast.
Oh my god.
We do not have a hot naked lady thumbnail. They are not clicking.
Maybe we should do a hot naked lady thumbnail just to get
unless it's their
concerned
sister,
real
they're still
quick.
not clicking it.
It's all about the views. We don't care if they dislike our video.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They're still not gonna click on that hot lady unless it's their sister. So you're not getting them yet.
Oh my god. Yeah, but the fact that or not only that, the fact that 12 so the fact that 48 states still allow the trans-panic defense, and not only that, but 11 states in the union, if a woman gets raped and the rapist gets out, 11 states in the union still allow the rapist to
Visitation rights and stuff.
visitation
Yep.
and sue for custody. So, you know, millennials and Gen Zers, we are, you know,
Hopefully making change. And I mean,
We are
we're kind
making-
of seeing
we
slow.
we are
But
ma-
we have those moderate Democrats like Steve just kind of speed bumping us.
Yes, and Steve, what the hell are you doing with your phone?
He's speed bumping us.
But yeah, but anyway,
They make it so difficult to get into the group chat, and all I wanted to do was send a message, but then I back.
don't
It's
worry
confusing.
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Anyway,
Can you see me, Andy?
yes, I can.
Oh,
I
man.
can still
Why
see
does he
you.
sound like a boomer? Why does he sound like a boomer right now?
I can see you. But okay.
Oh, what is
All right. We'll let Steve do what he's doing, and
We'll call there, everybody. And in 1 year, we're gonna get that moderate to take that political compass, and we'll
Yes.
get the truth from them.
But anyway, but yes, we've made a lot of progress. both in this country and with this podcast. We've got more episodes coming, everybody.
We have progress. Andy's kind of finally learning how to edit.
Yes.
So.
Well, I don't have to learn how to edit because I've done everything in OBS at this point. But anyway.
I mean, some of our past videos could have fooled me, but.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night,
Our viewership
everybody.
is growing. Thank you.